Greetings. It's your brother, Elder Blacklight, coming to you with some serious talk. In a minute, we're going to get into a rare interview, short interview with the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But before we do, I want to say this. Y'all listen to the so-called students of Elijah, but ignore Elijah. This is why the black people are going through these changes, and they will forever get suckered and conned by their open enemy, the Caucasian. He plays simple psych on a black man because all these black cronies that he has working for him, if the average brother and sister, grassroots brothers and sisters, some of them see black men and women on the screen, television or silver screen on a regular basis, they begin to call them leaders or idols. They idolize them and want to be like them because they rubbing elbows with the Caucasian. When you go to college and universities and graduate, you don't take that knowledge back to your people because you want just a job to work for the Caucasian. This is one of the reasons why you don't pay attention to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We'll explain later. But check this out.
It's a pleasure to be in the home of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, leader of the Nation of Islam, Muslims in America. Mr. Muhammad, I have a series of questions I'd like to ask you concerning the Nation of Islam, about the Muslims in America. And I'd like to start off by asking, I think, to once again to reinforce the many things that we've heard about the Muslims, precisely when the Muslim started in America, who started the Muslim movement in America, and how long ago has it been?
We started in 1931. Actually, we are not organizers of Islam. It was God himself in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, to whom praises is due, of whom the Bible and Holy Quran predicted. Master Farad Muhammad taught me Islam, and that was not the word joining that was used. After he taught me who we were, it was not a question of joining, but accepting myself and what I had lost of myself by being kidnapped by the white people and brought to this part of the earth.
What you're saying is that Islam is basically the true religion for black people.
It is the very nature of them. It's not a religion. Islam, we refer to it as a religion. And that's the Holy Quran. I give to you, God says there, a religion. I have completed my favor upon you and choose for you Islam as a religion. Not that it's a religion. It's the nature of us.
Well, then also that leads me to the question then that do you feel that the relationship between the African and Africa, the blacks and Haiti and Jamaica and America, this would be one and the same? They're all brothers, aren't they?
Every black man under the sun is brothers. I don't care whether he live in America or live in Asia or Africa or in the islands of the Pacific or the Gulf.
Mr. Muhammad, in another area, it's been said that the Muslims in America, speaking primarily of the black, generally do not participate in politics. Now, is this something that is true, or do Muslims participate in politics as a voter, as a participant, as an elected official?
Muslims have politics, as you know. in the Islamic world. They have government, and all governments have politics. But the politics of the Muslims is different from the white people's politics. In a way, they base their politics on the Quran, the law. They get it from Quran to run their government. Here in America, we are not yet an independent people. Here only in any land at all that we can collab on. This is what we are asking for. We're asking for a land of our own.
Well, do you feel, excuse me, did you feel that, I was speaking primarily when you mentioned the black man in America should find some place where he could set up his own nation. I was thinking of a large area where all of us could go to be in the nation of Islam.
You'll find that on the last page of Muhammad Speak newspaper, where that we have luring that we cannot get along with the white man in peace, and the white man have the privilege to separate us. But instead, the more we want to be separated from him, the more he wants to gobble us up. And you excuse the word gobble, but the more he wants to swallow us up in his power. He don't want the black man out of his sight. He's afraid of you going to yourself. But this is the only way he could exist. Now, because the stage of separation has come to bind.
To the black men and women who follow the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam is a way of life. To them, it is the nation of common sense.
Now, we're going to expose in this video some of the hypocrisies and traitors, not only to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's program and Master Farad, but to the entire original Asiatic black man of the planet, period. Uncle Sam and so-called Illuminatis that brought these people out to actually use technology on their own people. And a lot of them just feel like, well, I'm simply surviving, or I gotta look out for myself. But they know, a lot of them know that they are tricking the black man and woman and leading them to the pits of hell. And the number one example was Malcolm. You know, we're going to start off with him. It was more before Malcolm, but he's the most well known. A lot of black people, Malcolm was out there pushing the program, and then he got caught up into some things. To make a long story short, I believe that he was under the influence of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son, Wallace D. Muhammad. I believe that the powers to be got to him first while he was overseas. This is just my belief. I have no evidence, but this is just my insight. When he was going to school, I just sent him over to universities overseas, and I believe that's when they got, the CIA got to him, FBI. He influenced Malcolm. They came to Malcolm. He influenced Malcolm. And the reason why I know this is because anytime you call people blue-eyed devils, you know, and say that they uses technology, and they lie, and then you go on the television program and say talk about your leader, the one who taught you, you know, and then later on write a letter to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad explaining his sorry self and apologizing, you know, he ain't the man that everybody think he is. And then he influenced Farrakhan, or either the agents got to Minister Farrakhan. A lot of y'all say, well, no, that ain't true. We look at where we at now. Don't look at the beginning. Well, you can look at the beginning when Farrakhan joined with Wallace D. Muhammad, but then he separated and came back to rebuild the Nation of Islam. But look at now, after the Million Man March. What did Farrakhan do before the Million Man March? Well, she got in with Jesse Jackson, promoting Jesse Jackson to be a candidate for president. Then they fell out. Then he even backed Obama. He voted for Obama. And I don't know why he didn't listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. But he didn't follow none of the directions of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I know brothers are going by what Elijah Muhammad said, listen to him, follow him. But you got to examine that. And this is what we're going to do in this series. It's going to be a part 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4, till we get across to you that you should be looking at the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Even though he's deceased, he's more relevant than anybody else on the planet. Black light.